Seems like Gunna is trying to set the record straight in his captivating new release. The Atlanta legend finally started debunking rumors surrounding his YSL RICO involvement on his latest track, Bread and Butter. After a month-long anticipation, Gunna resurfaces with his highly anticipated comeback single, daringly addressing the relentless snitching allegations that have overshadowed his career since his release from jail in December. As the lyrics unfold, listeners find themselves at the crossroads of speculation, wondering if these bars hold a deeper significance for the enigmatic relationship between Gunna and Lil Baby, Lil Durk, Lil Marlo, and others too. Gunna has now taken the stage to express his thoughts on various matters, boldly calling out individuals along the way. In his latest track titled Bread and Butter, Gunna specifically calls out several people from the rap game, with Lil Baby being the most prominent among them. Now, truth be told, he did not explicitly say any names, but if you're in tune with everything that's been going on lately, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this stuff out. It's worth noting that Lil Baby unfollowed Gunna after rumors circulating suggested Gunna's cooperation following his Alford plea, resulting in his release from jail, while leaving behind his associates in YSL. Now, Gunna raps about a lot of topics on this new track, but one of the very first lines that is worth talking about is this one when Gunna says,
"Every nigga speaking on my name could have some real problems. We are not the same, ain't in my lane, I got my own column, yeah."
Peeping shit, I'm seeing niggas fall back. You ass niggas got me as top of the chat. You switched on me when you know you in business with a rat. Gunna directs his words towards Lil Baby, with specific mention of QC's record label CEO Pierre P. Thomas. Gunna here questions how Lil Baby could turn his back on him based on rumors of his alleged cooperation. Yet he himself, Lil Baby, is signed to someone who is considered to be Atlanta streets, yet there are snitching allegations tied to his name too. Interestingly, certain documents have been released recently suggesting that P collaborated with law enforcement in the past too. If that's true, that would indeed mean that Lil Baby has nothing to tell Gunna when it comes to working with rats. He's deep in it with P, and he has been for the last couple years. Gunna proceeds to target Lil Baby in the next line, expressing,
"And the boy that's like your brother, ain't nobody speak on that."
Well, looks like P and the only snitch that Lil Baby is hanging around with. Gunna did some research and it looks like the person who Lil Baby calls his brother, a guy called G5, did some telling on his own. A video surfaced where an ATL homie called Rue openly claimed that G5 provided information to the authorities about Young Thug. While this may be new information to some, it's widely known within the streets of Atlanta, where the context of Gunna's lyrics holds most significance.
In the paperwork, he was Lil Steve. Yeah, you know, time go by, niggas change their name. So shit, I'm down the road, I'm down there bit kicking it. They talking about hitters out the city and shit. I'm like, they hitter who? They talking about goddamn bro got a hitter, whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm like, who? They show me the nigga. I say, what? That told on me.
But this was not the end when it comes to all the smoke that Gunna was ready for. He got his scope firmly on Lil Baby with this one because he also thought of the guy who was got not too long ago and was one of the closest homies of Lil Baby and someone who was signed to 4PF, Lil Marlo. Rudolph Johnson, a rising rapper from Atlanta known as Marlo, who held a prominent position among the city's rap heavyweights despite remaining relatively underground, was fatally shot at the age of 30. The Atlanta Police Department reported that they initially responded to a single vehicle accident on I-285 west of downtown around 11:30 p.m., where they discovered the driver deceased. Authorities believe that Marlo was the intended target of a shooting. The shooting occurred amidst a surge of gun violence in Atlanta, following protests against the police killings of Rashard Brooks and George Floyd. However, it's believed that the guys who are behind this one are the same guys who Lil Baby is cool with at this very moment. Gunna raps, Now, it's a little bit sus that Gunna's only pulling out the big guns now at this time. The story of Marlo goes back a little bit, and if Gunna knows anything that we don't about Baby, well, he's sure as hell been holding on to that information for quite some time. That's one of the reasons why this info might not be 100% accurate. However, if it does turn out to be true, it seems like Lil Baby is quite the snake, and Gunna was on point with it. But as y'all know, the song wasn't entirely about Lil Baby. See, Gunna had something prepared for Lil Durk, too. In case you're not familiar, Lil Durk recently previewed a snippet where he cleverly plays with words, saying, "What happened to Virgil probably gonna gonna tell. This line showcases his wordplay skills by incorporating Gunna's name and referencing their previous collaboration titled What Happened to Virgil by including the phrase, "He probably gonna tell." Lil Durk hints that Gunna may have snitched on Thug and the YSL boys in order to free himself. Now that Gunna is out, he's ready to face those allegations too, and this is what he had to say.
You rap boy need more streams. Heard you put my name on wax. You wouldn't even believe I ain't have to watch my back. It's just really talking. How you think we think I snatched?
In essence, Gunna's message is pretty straightforward. He wants to make it clear that he is not the one who snitched, unlike those who are already really talking to the cops. Gunna is implying that their actions led to the consequences the YSL now face. Additionally, Gunna subtly responds to Lil Durk by suggesting that he must be seeking more attention or popularity if he feels the need to mention Gunna in his music, insinuating that Lil Durk is using Gunna's name for increased streams or recognition. Another topic that Gunna addressed in his new track is, of course, the topic of him snitching. Now this is where things get interesting because Gunna finally gave out some of his insight into the whole plea deal and the situation that came as a result.
I got paid the lawyers out on millions for. Just so I won't have to say a word that I just railroad. It's find it hard to understand though.
Dog ain't put me down, I've been locked down. I don't know which way to go. Never gave no statement or agreed to take no stand on him on whatever you on, and trust me, I'ma stand on it. Lawyers and the DEA did some sneaky shit.
On my P's and Q, because this time I be prepared for it, yo. Post shiny niggas throwing shade though. I can get on here, but I'm just chilling, just see how I go.
Gunna's statement here suggests that he believes the prosecutor or the district attorney deceived him, possibly implying that they manipulated him into a losing situation. He also mentions lawyers, which could imply that he's unhappy with his legal representation. Gunna questions why he paid millions to his lawyers if they were going to deceive him into doing something that would make him appear as if he was cooperating. The exact nature of what he was tricked into is unclear, whether it was cooperating or appearing as a snitch. Gunna clearly expresses his discomfort with being labeled a cooperator or a snitch, and he places blames on his lawyers for the situation he finds himself in. What we can't say for sure is that Gunna is conveying a somewhat mixed message. On one hand, he claims to have held it down by coming out early. That was the whole idea behind the track too. That's why he called it bread and butter. He got to feed all the people. He mentioned that line in the song too. But at the same time, he suggests that he was tricked, leaving us uncertain about his true stance. However, one thing that did come out fresh for Gunna is his tough and aggressive persona that we see him wearing. His fans noticed it too. I've never heard Gunna talk this crazy, discussing potential physical confrontations and asserting that anyone with a problem can face the consequences. That's not something we know Gunna for. He adopts a similar demeanor to 6ix9ine post-jail, where projecting toughness became essential to refute accusations. It's worth saying that Gunna has been relatively inactive due to the ongoing YSL trial, and it's reasonable to assume that he refrains from speaking on certain matters until the trial concludes, considering the potential impact on Young Thug's situation. At the end of the day, though, the song itself appears to serve as a means to address issues rather than aiming for mainstream success. Interestingly, other artists like Lil Durk and even Lil Baby seem to distance themselves from Gunna, seemingly in support of Young Thug, who cannot openly express his views due to being a witness in the case. This adds a layer of confusion to the song, as Gunna criticizes these individuals without directly addressing his relationship with Thug. One comment said, "All I heard Gunna say is, it's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when I do it." Gunna denied any hidden messages aimed at his former collaborator Lil Baby. Academics made a post questioning why Gunna did what he did on his new track. Specifically, Ak asked why he went in so hard on Baby. He wrote, "I just want to know why Gunna talking about Lil Baby like this. Holy." And Gunna answered with, "That's cap. I'm just letting the world hear my story." But what y'all have to say about Gunna's new song? And do you think he was in fact taking shots at Lil Baby, P, and others? Let us know down about it in the comments section below. Thanks so much for watching to the end. You know the drill. Click like, subscribe, tell a friend or two, and as always, remember to keep it RIZZLE.